Good morning and welcome to this week's summer edition of Fun Activities in 5. Today we're going to be talking about an extension or a modification of an activity that I did a video for a few months ago. I will link that video in the description if you want to go back and watch the original before you watch this extended edition. So then in case you don't know what's going on, you can know what's going on before you continue. We're going to be talking about the Yo Tengo, quién tiene game. I have, who has. If you don't teach Spanish, this game exists in your language as well. I'm just going to be using the phrase Yo tengo, quién tiene in today's example. The premise of this game is that students are trying to figure out who has the pieces basically to a puzzle. I have dog, who has cat? Oh, I have cat, who has goat, etc. They're typically vocab central, so maybe you're doing it to practice numbers, maybe you're doing it to practice clothing, maybe you're doing it to practice a seasonal set of vocab, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. Today I'm going to talk to you about how I have modified or extended this game into a gallery walk scavenger hunt. So last year I taught an exploratory Spanish class. It was an experience to say the least, and I'm not sad that I won't be having that experience again this year. They needed movement badly, and I fully believe in support movement in my classes, but they couldn't handle things like gallery walks because they didn't really have the language to do it in. These were students that I had for like 4 or 5 months. They were students that rarely came to class. They were students that were always late to class. So we didn't have time to really build up a lot of skills that we would have built up in like a standard level 1 class. So I was trying to consider like how I could make this something they could do and get movement. So I decided to take my Yo Tengo, quién tiene cards, the regular cards you would print out. They say Yo Tengo, quién tiene on them, and they have the 2 items, and hang them up around the room and in the hallway. Now I will preface this with, this was a small class, 10 students. I would not do this the same way with a group of 30 students. I would do this outside, or I would put them in teams and nominate one person to go. I would not let 30 students free on this activity. But with a group of 10, it was totally fine because there weren't that many of them. So prefacing with that. If you have a larger class, split them in groups and send one representative. Do not let 30 students do this. So I read the first card, Yo tengo gato, quién tiene dog. And once I read that, they left to go find dog or perro. They looked at all the cards around the room, out in the hallway, and the first person to grab the card and hand it to me got a point for their team or for themselves. Then I would read that card. Yo tengo perro, quién tiene goose, or etc. with all the animals. And we would repeat one at a time. It was a great way to have them thinking about vocab, getting a little bit of movement, being with their friends, tire them out a little bit, honestly, and give me a little bit of a break. So it essentially had the benefits of a gallery walk without them having to read or listen to a gallery walk. They were looking for words and clues. If I was going to do this with a larger class, I would split my class probably into like 6 groups, and I would number the students in each group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would say for this round, the 1s are going to look, the 2s are going to look, and they could collaborate in a team, decide what they're looking for before sending that representative to go and find the answer. If you have never played Yo Tengo, quién tiene and you don't know what that game is, you can click the link in the description to watch the original explanation of that game and to see what the premise of the game is and how it works before trying it gallery walk style. If you would like to try it gallery walk style, I would love to know how it goes for you. I would love to know how you modify it for your larger class or for your younger students or your older students. This was done with an 8th grade group, so I feel pretty comfortable saying it could very easily be done in middle school or in high school because 8th graders are kind of that in between anyway. I would love to know how it goes for you and what modifications you made. But thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope to see you on next week's edition of Fun Activities in 5.